Hey guys, before starting this video, if you guys are into building cool mobile and web applications, then make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and also press the bell button so that you get notified every time I upload any video. Thank you guys and do enjoy this video. So hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Flutter video, and this video is in continuation with the Flutter e-commerce series where we are building a fully featured Flutter e-commerce application with Firebase backend. So guys, in the previous videos of this series, we actually implemented the basic features of our e-commerce application. So we listed our products into our homepage, and we are also able to view the detail of each and every product by going to the detail page. And we can also add the product to the cart. And then by going to the cart screen, we can view our added product. And we can also dismiss them by just swiping it to the left. And then we can also add more products and similarly view them in our card screen. So guys, today in this video we are actually want to implement the checkout option so that we can place the orders which are present in our cart, and for that we need to create an order model. So in this video we'll be creating our app with the Firebase backend so that we can store the orders into the cloud database. So with this guys, let us get started. So guys, if you are finding my videos helpful and if you want to encourage me to make more videos like this, then you can contribute by going to my Patreon page, and there are several other benefits which you can obtain, and it just starts from $1 per month, so you can check it out. You can also join my Facebook group which I've created for app developers like yourself, and I'll put the links in the description, so please check it out. And with this, let us start the video. So guys, I'm back in the main.dart file of our project, and right now I need to create a new file inside my models folder, which is inside the lib folder. So inside the models folder, I'm going to create a new file, and I'll just call it orders.dart. So this file is going to hold the order item and also the list of the orders. And yes, so first of all, we need to import the cart.dart file because the orders actually are going to hold a list of cart items. So just going to import cart.dart, and here we'll create a class. Let's call it order item, and this order item class actually going to have some attributes. So the first one would be the ID of the order, so string ID, and the next one will be the amount, so final double amount. And then we're going to have the list of card items. So we are actually going to have the list, as you guys can see. So this is a list of card items, and we need to place we can place as an order when you click on this checkout option. So for that, I'm going to give it the list attribute, so final list, and the list would be the list of card items, so card item, and we are going to call it as products. After that, we also need the date time, so at which date the order was placed, date time, and then going to the order item, and we need to initialize our attributes. So here all will be required, so required, and to enable this required option we need to import the material package.dart, so package material.dart, and required is .id comma required is .amount, and then required, and this one will actually be order item, not order, so order item, and then required. So I'll just copy this up, paste it here. This dot products, the list of products, so products, and then required is dot date time. Okay, so and this one will be string, so I've done a typo, so string. Let's save it, and we forgot a semicolon here. And then we need to get the list of the orders. So for that, I'll just create another class, so class orders, and it's going to have the change notifier, so change notifier, and inside this class, first of all, it is going to have the list of order items, order item, and let's call it orders. So this is basically an empty list for now because we have no orders by default. So after that we can get the orders. So I'm just create a method, so list order get orders, and basically it is going to get our orders. So return, I'm going to use the spread operator, so dot, so get a copy of our orders list and semicolon here. And after that we need to actually create the add method so that we will be able to add the products to our orders list, and then it is going to be sent to the Firebase database as an order. So for that we need to integrate our app with Firebase backend. So guys, right now I am at the official Firebase website, that is firebase.google.com. and if you are not signed with a Google account, then you need to sign in first, and then you can go to the console. So I'm going to the console with this account for the first time so that I can show you guys how to proceed. So right here, as you can see, we get the option of creating a new project. So I'll just click on it, create a project, and I'll give a name. So I can give any name like first uh, um, so this is just a simple name. You can give the name of your project or your app, and you need to accept the terms and then continue, and then continue again. And for the country, you can select the country, which country you're currently in, and I'll select my country. And also you need to accept these terms, and then you can create a new project, and it will take a couple of seconds. And our project is ready, and we'll just hit continue, and we'll click on the project which we've created. And now here we can actually select the platform for which we want to build the project. So I'm going with the Android one. You can also go with the iOS one. And if you are creating the app for both platforms, that is for both Android and iOS, then you need to create the project in both the platforms. So you need to use two platform, one for iOS and one for Android. And here you need to give the package name of your Android, and here they are saying that it is available in the build.gradle file in our app directory. So if we go to the Android section, and if we go to the build.gradle file, and here we can see the package name, and I think this is not the file because it does not have the package name. So actually we have two build.gradle files in our project directory, if you don't know. And for the next one, we need to go inside the app folder inside our Android folder, which we are currently in. So we need to go inside the app folder, and here we get another build.gradle file. And here if we scroll down a bit, then we can see the application ID or the name of our project. So I'll just copy this up. So I'll just copy it up and I'll paste it here, and I can give a nickname. So I'll just give first. Okay, now this is optional for your SHA1 certificate. I'll not do it here, and I'll just register the app, and it is going to take a couple of seconds. And now they're asking me to download this services.json file. So I'll download it, and I need to include it inside my app folder. So for that, I'm going to open my file over here, and if you can see, we have this app folder inside the Android folder of our root directory. So inside the app folder, we need to place the services.json file. So I'll just maybe I can just make it smaller, and I'll just drag and drop it here. So now we have it inside our app folder. You can also copy and paste it, or maybe cut and paste it. So after that, what we need to do here, let's see. So next, So now we need to include some lines of code in our files. So I'll just close this and keep it here, and I'll also minimize it. So now what we need to do is we need to, first of all, we need to go to the build Gradle of our root directory. So this one, and inside this one, what it is saying is that inside the build script option here, inside repositories, we need to include Google. So it is already included. And then inside the dependencies section, so we don't, okay, so this is the dependency section, and here we need to have this class path. So oh yes, so I'll just copy it up and I'll just paste it here. So we have this, and then inside the all project section, so over here we need to have Google. So we have it, so we'll not add it again. So it is the Google's Maven repository. And then back to our app module slash build.gradle. So it is inside the app folder, this build.gradle, and here I think under the apply plugin. So I think we need to add it here. So just copy this up, and okay, we have this one. So as you can see, com.android.application, we already have it here. And then also gms.services, so we don't have it. So I'll just copy this, I'll maybe paste it here. And then inside the dependency section, I need to include this code, that is the Firebase Analytics. So just copy this and I'll just paste it here, and I'll save it. I'll also save this one. And yeah, so let us see if our app has been connected or not. So first of all, I'll just make it a bit bigger, and I'll close these two files, and back in here I'll hit next, and it is running to check if the app has communicated with the Firebase servers or not. So guys, we have successfully connected our app with the Firebase backend. And if you are facing any problem, then you can just uninstall and reinstall your app and see if it works or not, and it is surely going to work. And after this, what we need to do, we need to create a database. So we are going to use the uh, database, Firebase database. And Firebase has two type of database. So one is Cloud Firestore, and the other one is the real-time database. So in this series and in this project, we will be using the real-time database, not the Cloud Firestore. And if you guys want me to make a video on the Cloud Firestore database, then just comment down below. And for now, we'll just use the real-time database, and I'll hit the create database option. And it is asking me whether I want to make my database private, or whether I want users to read and write my database. So for now, for the beginning, I'll just use it in start test mode. So I'll just enable it, and our database, a real-time database, is going to get ready. And now to connect our app and to send data to this app, we need to copy this link, which is the link of our database. So I'll just copy this up, and now where to use it. So we're going to use it in our orders.dart file, and we are actually going to create a new section for the orders in our database, and we'll just create it not by manually by like creating the tables out here, but we'll create it through this link which we have just copied. So for that, first of all, we need to create a method. So I'll create the first method, which will be the method for adding the orders. So here I'm going to create a method, and it is going to return a feature because we are working with sending and receiving data so from online. So we are going to use feature and name it as add order. And now it is going to take some parameters. So first of all, it is going to take the list of card items. So card item, and let's call it card products. And then it is going to take a amount, so the total amount. So we'll just write it as total, and it will be an async await method. So we are going to wait for it to get the data or to send the data. And yes, so now we are going to store the URL inside a variable called URL. So final URL equals, let's paste this copy URL over here. And now, as I have told you earlier, that we need to create a section in our database to store our orders, and that section we are just going to add it after this link. So .com/, I'm going to add orders, so it will create a separate section for the orders, and it is going to store the orders in that section specifically. And we can create it just directly like this. We can just add the name of the section which we want to create into that database after the main link or the main URL. And now what we need to do, we need to get the timestamp. So final timestamp, and it would be the date time, current date time, so date time dot now. And now we are actually going to add the orders, or we have to make a post request to the URL to post the orders. So I hope you guys are familiar with the get, post, and all this thing, all the backend stuff. And these are will not go much deeper. And this is just simple request which we'll make to the Firebase servers. And for that, we are using the try catch method, so that if we get an error, we can catch that error. So inside my try block, I can just make the request. So first of all, I'm going to get the response, and it would be an await. For this, we need the HTTP package. So we need to include the HTTP package into our pubspec.yaml. So right in the pub.dev site, we can search for HTTP, and we get this option. And to install it, I'll just copy this, and I'll just paste it into my pubspec.yaml under the dependencies section over here, just under the provider. I'll save it, and it should get the package. And yes, now we can import the package. And to import the package, I'm just going to write here in my orders.dart file, import http.dart as http. So it will just import this http.dart package as http, and now we'll be able to use it directly here. So http dot we get the method, and since we will actually be adding the orders, or we'll be posting the orders, so I'll just write here http dot post. And now if you guys have worked earlier with the post request, you guys know that the post request actually takes not just the URL but also the body. So the body which we are going to send it to our server, and it should be in JSON format. So for that, we will be using the Dart convert package, or import Dart convert. And now what I'm going to do, we have the URL over here, and then I'm going to pass a second parameter, and the second parameter is going to be the body of the order which we need to post. So it would be the body, so body, and the body is basically going to be an JSON object. So JSON dot encode, we need to encode it. And since this is an object, so curly braces, and inside the curly braces, first of all, let's give a semicolon here, and we also need a extra bracket. So let's give a bracket, and inside this object now, what we need is, we basically need an ID. So ID, and since these are just JSON objects, so we need to wrap it with quotation. So the ID would be datetime dot now to string, and then we need the amount, the total amount. So amount would be the total, and then we are going to need the date time. So the date, and this date will actually be in a more nicer format. So we have the timestamp which we have specified here. So timestamp dot to ISO 8016, so to make it look a bit nicer. and then we have the product. So for the product, since the product is actually a list, so products, and it would be the cart products. So if you guys remember from the card section videos that we have our uh, card items inside of a inside of map inside of an object which is mapped with the ID or the product ID. And now here we have the card products. So card products, it is basically the list of the card items or card objects. And now card products dot, we need to map it back to a list. So map, and now we need to map each and every product card product which is present. So for that, what we can do is let's call it here we can specify it as CP or card product shortly. And then here we can return an object, and it is going to take an ID, and the ID would be none but the ID of the product which is present in the card. So cp.id, and then we have the title, and it would be cp.title, and then we have the quantity, and it would be I think not title, it should be the name. And then we have the quantity, so cp.quantity, and also we have the price, so price will be cp.price. Okay, and all this will be mapped to another list, so we'll just specify the to list. And then we also have to insert the card products into our object list, orders list, not object list, sorry. So this we need to insert the card items or the card products into this list. And to do that, what we can do is we can actually write here orders dot insert, and the index would be first of all 0, and it would be the order item. So we have created a class called order item over here, so it takes the list of the products and all these things, and the date and the name and ID, or the amount and the ID, and it would be the order item which we are going to insert it, and semicolon here. Inside this order item, now we need to specify the ID first of all. So the ID would be actually we are going to get this ID from Firebase itself. So Firebase defines a separate ID for it. So if we store any orders out here, so each order is going to have a specific unique ID through which the Firebase can recognize that they have that ID. So for that, we need to fetch the ID. We need to get the ID. So for that, you can just write here json.decode, because we are decoding the ID, and we're decoding it from the response. So response.body, and response.body, in there we have the attribute called name, so we can which contains the ID which is given by the Firebase itself. And after that, we can define the amount. So the amount would be the total, and then we can define the date time, which should be the timestamp. And also we can define the products, so the products would be the card products. And that's it. And now what we need to do, we need to notify the listeners that we have added an order, so to the orders list. So for that, we'll just write here notify listeners, and then we need to catch the error, since we are inside a throw or try catch a block. So we need to catch the error if something goes wrong, or if something if we cannot post the order, then we can write here catch, and we can catch the error, and inside this we can throw the error, so throw error. Okay, so let's save this, and now we need to execute it. So for executing it, we need to go to the card screen. So I'll just close this and Android folder, and going back inside the card screen, I hope we get the the checkout button. So yes, so this is the checkout button, and for now, previously we have not given any on press value to it. So now we want this button to work so that we will be able to place the orders, or we'll be able to check out. So for that, what we need to do, first of all, we need to define a conditional, because when our cart is empty, we do not want this checkout button to actually place the orders, because there are no orders. So we need to check if the cart is empty, or the cart is if there are any items in the cart. So if there is an item or a single item, then the checkout option is going to work, else it is not going to work, because we don't have any item in our cart. So for that, we will actually be needing a stateful widget. So we'll just, what I'm going to do, I'm just comment this up, because we'll be creating a new widget for our checkout button. So right here, we'll create a stateful widget. So stateful widget, and this stateful widget, we're just going to call it as checkout button. So our checkout button is going to take a parameter, so it will be the cart. So it is going to have the cart, so final cart. We need access to the cart to perform some cart methods which are present in the cart class. So we need to initialize it now. So checkout button, and inside of it we can actually specify checkout button, and it should be a required parameter. So required this dot so semicolon, and now what it is going to do, it is actually going to return a flat button. So flat button here, and inside this flat button we need to have a child. You can have a child, and the child would be a text widget, and it could be checkout. Okay, and we also need the on press option, and inside this on press option, now we have to check if there are items present in the cart or not, so that we will be able to check out. So for that, we'll just access it by widget dot cart dot total amount, and for that we have to actually create a method into our cart.dart file inside our cart class. So I think we have not created the method, so let's create it. So inside my cart.dart file, I'll create a method, and here I can name it as get the total amount. And the total amount, first of all, we need to specify a variable, the total, which is initially set to 0 since it is double. So, and after that we need to go through every item which has been added to our cart. We can apply the for each loop, and here inside of value, let's call it card item, because we are going to going through every card item. And now we are going to check the quantity, and if the quantity is more, then we can multiply with the price of a single item. So total plus equals, so that total equals to total plus it defines that. So card item dot price, and it will be multiplied by the card item dot quantity, semicolon, and here also we can include a semicolon, and now it is going to return the total. Okay, so we have the total amount method out here, and now we can access it from here. And so see what here we're getting. Okay, so it is a double. So what we can do here is we can actually we are going to check. So if it is less than or equals to 0, then the checkout button will not work, so null. Else we want it to work, so I am creating an anonymous function, and it will be an async await function, because we are working with the server. So we need to post the order. So for that, what we can do, we can define a set state method, or not set state, we can just await for the provider dot off, and it would be the orders. We want to access the orders class, and I'm going to set the listen to false, because we are not going to listen to the provider, because there will be no changes on the button. And then we can access the add order add order method of the class, and inside this add order method we can actually this add order method takes two parameters, I guess. Yes, so the first one will be the cart products, and the second one will be the total amount. So for that we need to specify it. So the first one would be the widget dot cart dot items dot values, and we need to convert it to a list, because it is going to take a list as first parameter, and then we need to provide the total amount. So widget dot cart dot total amount. Okay, so now we have this add order method, and since we do not have this orders class into the widget tree, so our provider will not be able to access it. So for that, I'm going back to my main.dart file, and I'll just copy this up, and I'll just paste it here, and this one will be the orders. So orders. Okay, so let's save it, and also let's save this. And now here we hopefully will be able to access the orders class. The provider will be able to access the orders class, and I think we need to import it here. So it gets imported automatically out here. And now what we can do, what else we can do? Okay, so let's check if it is working or not. Let me save it, let me restart the app, and let's see. So I'll open my terminal so that we can see if there is any error. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some items to my cart. So presently my cart is empty. So okay, so we have done one mistake, is that we have not specified the checkout button, so we need to specify it. So I'll just copy it, and I'll just paste it here, and it is going to take the cart. So cart will be the cart which we have access over here. As you can see, we have specified our cart over here. And so let's save it again, and let's restart our app again, and let me go to my cart. So currently it is empty, and let us add some items. So I'm going to add this one and this one, and then I'm going back to my cart, and I'm hitting the checkout option, and let's see, let's go back to our console, the Firebase console, and let's refresh this. Let's see if it is added or not. Okay, so I think we have done a small mistake here, so let me check. So yes, so what we need to do, actually I forgot to mention that we need to specify .json after the section of which we want to create in the Firebase database. So we need to give .json inside at the end of the URL. So let's save it, and let's restart the app again. And right here, we just go back, and here I'm going to add some items. So let's add these two items. Let's go back to our cart. So we have these two items. So let's check out now, and okay, let us refresh this. And so yes, so as you guys can see, we have successfully added the order section in our database, and we also have the order. So if you guys can see, okay, so we have the orders, and we can also view the products. So these are the products. So yes, it has worked, and it has worked successfully. So we have successfully placed the order, as you guys can see, and here also we get the date time and the ID, date time as the ID. And yes, so we can also view the total amount. So if I can just refresh it again. So yes, we can also view the total amount, which is 9. And so yes, if you guys can see, here we actually have the total amount as 9. So this one is $5 and this one is $4, and we have the total order amount as $9. So we have it right here. And so with this, guys, we are now able to place orders, we are now able to check out. And also what I want is, when I check out, I want my the cart to clear. So this item should get removed once I check out. So for that, we can add another method to our cart screen inside this checkout button. What we can do is, we can actually call the right here, we can call the widget dot cart dot clear method, which we have created earlier. And what it does is, it just clears the whole cart once the order has been placed. So right here I can place this order, and if I just try to check out, then it should get cleared. Okay, so as you guys can see, it is now get cleared. And also, when there are no items in our cart, it is just disabled, it doesn't work. And let's see if it has been added to our cart, or if it has been added to the database or not. And so if I go to orders, then yes, so we have this order. So this is the order which we placed just now, $5. Yes. And yes, so guys, this is working. And we have now successfully we are able to check out, and we are at the end of this series. And there's still much more to implement, much more to do. You guys can create a screen for the recent orders. Also we can authenticate the user. So if you guys want me to make more videos on this series, like user authentication, then maybe we can also create the recent order screen, so that the users will be able to see the orders they have just placed recently by going to the drawer section and over here. And also now, since we have these dummy products, we are actually not being able to add new products to our app. So if you guys want me to make a video on how to add new products to this Firebase e-commerce app, and for that also we are going to need the access of the real-time database, Firebase database. And if you guys want me to make the video, then please support me, please share this video, please like this video, and please subscribe to my channel. And if this video gets more than 100 likes, then I'm going to create a new video where we will be able to create or add new products. And also, the whole source code for this project is available in my GitHub repository, so you guys can just check it out. And also, if you are stuck somewhere, you guys can just check out my GitHub repository for this project, and the link will be in the description below. And also, guys, I'll be coming up with new videos, new video series on new Flutter projects, on real world and practical Flutter projects. And so you guys can just subscribe to my channel if you want to get updated on the latest videos. And till then, guys, thanks for watching, stay safe and take care.